Welcome to Baseball Extra, the only place where we dissect the diamond, celebrate the hits, and analyze every single pitch that shapes the season. Tonight, we're diving deep into a game that was more than just a win. It was a defiant roar from a team staring down the barrel of elimination. After a brutal five-game slide, the Houston Astros delivered an offensive explosion, crushing their opponents 11-5 and keeping their postseason hopes burning bright. Get ready, because this is the kind of clutch performance that legends are made of, and we've got every angle covered. Leading up to this game, the tension was palpable. The Astros were in a desperate situation, reeling from a brutal five-game losing streak. Think about that for a second. Five straight losses, and in 40 of those 45 innings, they were trailing. 40 out of 45. That's a statistic that screams crisis. With only 4 games left on the schedule, it truly felt like a do-or-die moment. Every single game now carries the weight of an entire season, and this one, against the Astros, felt like the ultimate test of their resilience. They knew they needed to take care of their own business, win these final 4, and then, and only then, could they hope for some help from other teams in the wild card race. But first, they had to prove they could win. The spotlight was on young right-hander JTK, making his final start of the season. He'd made 15 previous starts, and this was his chance to finish strong, finish healthy, and frankly, finished with a bang against the Astros. He had an opportunity to not just put them to bed for the season series, but potentially put their season to bed as well. A tall order for a young arm under immense pressure. And right out of the gate, it looked like the struggle might continue. In the first inning, the Astros had 2 men on with 1 out for Victor Caratini. Now, 2 men on is a start, right? But the Astros, notoriously, had been looking for that elusive hit with runners in scoring position. They were a dismal 0 for 5 in those situations just last night. The crowd held its breath, and then, a moment of brilliance. Caratini found a pitch he could drive, a ball past the diving second baseman, and just like that, a runner was waved around third. He jogged home, and the Astros had their first lead in 6 games. It was 1-0, thanks to Caratini's clutch hit. He absolutely hammered that pitch, singling it past the second baseman. Now, suddenly, runners were at first and third with 1 out, and Christian Walker stepped up, looking to add to that early lead. Walker hit a slow ground ball to third, a tough play to turn a double. They got the out at second, but Walker was safe at first, just enough for him to pick up his 83rd RBI of the year. The Astros were quickly up 2-0 here in the first inning. This was already a different look from their recent performances. In the bottom of the first, it was Valdez taking the mound for his 31st start. His season ERA was 3.75, respectable, but September had been rough, 0-4 with an 8.27 ERA. This was a critical outing for him, a chance to turn things around. The Athletics, led by Jacob Wilson, who was hitting 315 with 13 homers, were trying to rally from behind early, but Valdez had other plans. He unleashed a curveball in the dirt, catching Wilson swinging and missing for a strikeout on 3 pitches. 1 away, Valdez then came back from a 3-1 count to strike out Soderstrom, followed by Brent Rooker swinging and missing on another curveball. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Rooker was struck out on 3 pitches. Valdez allowed a first-pitch single, then struck out the next 3 batters. This was the Valdez the Astros desperately needed. Moving into the second, the Astros' offense continued to roll. Zach Cole led it off. He lined one into right field, and it dropped in for a hit. Cole, aggressive on the bases, made it to second as Brent Rooker couldn't handle the ball. It was a leadoff double, setting the table for Mauricio Dubin. Then, Cole, on the move again, stole second on a pitch down, giving him his first big league steal and putting runners on first and third with 1 out for Jose Altuve. Altuve, who had struck out his last time up, stepped to the plate, and then boom! He lashed a fair ball down the line towards the corner. Zach Cole scored easily, Dubin was held up, and it was a 3-0 Astros lead. Altuve drove in his 76th run of the year, another hit with a runner in scoring position. The Astros were way ahead of their recent game. The hits kept coming, with runners at second and third and 1 out. Isaac Paredes delivered a line drive base hit, scoring Dubin and sending Altuve to third. It was 4-0 Astros. Paredes, getting a pitch he liked, drilled it through the left side. The infielders were playing in, but Paredes hit it right past them. 3 straight Astros had reached base, and 4 of the 5 who came up that inning had gotten on base. Carlos Correa then stepped up. He walked and scored his first time up. He hit a weak ground ball to the left side, Harris fielded it and threw the first in time to get Correa for the second out, but Altuve scored. It was 5-0 Astros. This was textbook situational hitting, just putting the ball in play. The Astros were expanding their lead with purpose. After another walk, Jacob Wilson, who had struck out previously, hit a ground ball to third. Correa turned it to second for one, and Valdez completed the double play, keeping the shutout through 3 innings. Valdez was showing exactly why he's considered a double play specialist. The Astros continued to pour it on. Another walk in the fourth brought up Isaac Paredes again, who had already driven in a run. He lined a hit that brought another run home, with Jamel scoring and Altuve heading to third. It was 6-0 Astros. That's Paredes' second RBI of the afternoon. With the lead now stretched to 6, the Athletics' manager decided to make a move. JTK's day was done after 81 pitches. Lefty Brady Bass came in as the new pitcher. However, the struggles continued for the Athletics' bullpen. Bass walked Caratini, loading the bases for Christian Walker, and Walker delivered once more, singling to right field. Altuve scored, and Paredes was held up at third. It was a station-to-station play, bringing the score to 7-0. Walker picked up yet another RBI. The Astros were relentlessly adding to their lead. Even with a new pitcher, the offense remained red hot. Bass did manage to strike out Smith, but the damage was done. 2 more runs on 3 hits and 2 walks. In the fifth, another walk set up Mauricio Dubin. He hit it sharply over the leap of Harris, down the left field line, all the way to the wall. Racing to third, the runner kept going, and Wilson's throw to the plate was too late. He slid in safely, extending the lead to 8-0. The Astros were relentless, continuing to tack on runs. Remember, they'd only scored a total of 8 runs over their entire 5-game losing streak. Now, in this single game, they had already matched that. Altuve, with an RBI double and a walk already, stepped up again. He popped it up with the infield in. The infielder tried to find it, but the sun got in his eyes, and he couldn't make the play. Another run scored, making it 9-0. It was an RBI single for Altuve, a break for the Astros, but they were taking advantage of every opportunity. Meanwhile, Valdez was back out there for the 6th, working on a 5-inning shutout. He had allowed 5 hits, but he was dialed in, striking out Colby Thomas on 3 pitches. That was his 5th strikeout of the day, matching his most in the last 2 months. Valdez was delivering a dominant performance when his team needed it most. With 2 outs, Nick Kurtz, who was 1 for 2, stepped up. He struck a ball to left, going back at the track, to the wall, and it's gone. Nick Kurtz went the other way, burnishing his Rookie of the Year resume with his 34th home run. That ball just never came down. It was a curveball, a pretty good one, and Kurtz, the lefty, scooped it the other way for the homer. It was 9-1 Astros, and that was the 10th hit for the Astros on the day. First and second brought up Carlos Correa again. He hit a ball down the line and right, a base hit to the corner, and the Astros hit double figures. It was a 10-1 game as Carlos Correa drove in his second run of the game. The Astros were absolutely crushing it at the plate, particularly impressive in risk runners in scoring position situations. Valdez was still out there for his 7th inning of work. He got the top of the order due up and delivered another 3-pitch strikeout. 6 of his 9 strikeouts today had come on just 3 pitches. He was truly dialed in. What a bounce back for Valdez. He needed this badly, and so did the Astros. He got strikeout number 10, double digits for Valdez. He finished his outing with a ground ball to short. Dubin made a great backhand play and threw in time. Valdez had his best outing in a while. 7 innings of 1-run baseball, striking out 10. A truly historic comeback performance for him. As we started the 8th inning in Sacramento, new pitcher Scott M.C. Guff came in for the A's, and Christian Walker lined his first pitch deep to left field. That ball was off the top of the wall and over for a home run for Walker, his 24th of the season, and the Astros lead extended to 11-1. Walker picked up his 3rd RBI of the afternoon, and it was the first home run of the series for the Astros. New pitcher for the Astros, Angel de Los Santos, came in. Nick Kurtz, 2 for 3 and homered in the 6th, stepped up again. Kurtz hit another 5-ball to left. This one was deep, going back to the track, to the wall, and he's done it again. Another towering, majestic moonshot home run to left field by Nick Kurtz. His 2nd home run of the day, his 35th of the season, and it was 11-3 Astros. This guy is ridiculous. Despite Kurtz's solo heroics, the Astros were firmly in control, but the Athletics weren't completely out of it, picking up a couple more runs in the 9th. Langeliers doubled, then scored on another hit. Then a walk put two runners on with nobody out, prompting the Astros to bring in closer Brian Abreu for his 69th appearance of the season. Abreu gave up a run on a chopper to third, making it 11-5, but then settled in. A beautiful backhand by Dubin at short for another out brought Nick Kurtz to the plate as the final hope for the A's. He was 3 for 4 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs, a phenomenal individual effort. But this time, Abreu got him. Ball game over. Brian Abreu closed it out, and the Astros secured a much-needed 11-5 win, snapping that 5-game losing streak. This victory kept their wild-card picture hopes alive. They still have an opportunity to control their own destiny, especially if the Red Sox and Tigers lose later tonight. They needed this win in the worst way, and they got it with a dominant display of offense and a vital bounce-back performance from Valdez. Call to action. What a game, folks. This is why we love baseball. The drama, the comebacks, the sheer will to win. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Astros' critical victory, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to Baseball Extra for more in-depth analysis, game highlights, and everything you need to know about America's favorite pastime. We're just getting started on this thrilling road to the postseason.